Good morning, everybody. I need to be there we go. I had I'm trying to upload the other photo of Quinn and her little babies. Why doesn't it want to open? Let's try the other one then. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me figure this out. Because most of you have seen the other photo, so I wanted you to see this one. Okay, let's try this again. Come on, please, please. Please, please, please work. Otherwise, I'll just show the one of her. It won't let me upload it. I don't know if I have too many or what, but there is Quinny Pooh. She had 4 little girls yesterday. Well, by the end of it, it was late last night. They're absolutely darling. She's only ever had 3 puppies before, so it was a bit of a surprise that she had a 4th pup. And then, of course, I was all keyed up, so I didn't get to sleep anywhere near when I should have. So I was up quite late. But yes, so no shipments and the new invoices didn't go out. I apologize. I got off of my live yesterday and then went to start recording my part 2 with the bargain feed box, and I heard Quinn like digging under the dresser. And I pulled her out and picked her up to make sure everything was good. I'm like, oh, okay, you're good. And I'm sitting there holding her, and she just starts quivering. And I'm like, okay, time to go. Some of my mamas don't like me in there. It's not their thing. They can do it on their own, whatever else. And I always leave it up to mamas. Quinn has to be right next to me the whole time or she panics. So it felt a little like I wasted from like 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock when she finally started actually giving birth. But that's what she needs, and that's what she needs, and that's my primary focus because she's doing an amazing thing by having puppies. So I make sure that I take care of my mamas to the best of my ability. So that's what I did. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Rosanna, Mary, Beth. So I need name themes. Obviously, for girls. I was thinking about Little Women, the character names, or Little House on the Prairie. There's actually 4 girls total. It's not just Laura and Mary. There's also Carrie and Grace. So there's those. There was one other that I thought of yesterday. I don't know. But if anybody has any like tips, I would love the help. And then, of course, I checked my meds this morning, turned off my alarm, and promptly went back to sleep. So I didn't wake up until like 10 after 9. So that's cute. But yeah. So I'm excited. They're absolutely adorable little Shih Tzu puppies. I haven't had a Shih Tzu litter in 2 years. They just weren't selling that well, but I have several of my puppy parents that want another puppy from me. So we went ahead and did the Shih Tzu litter this time around. So I'm very excited and I can't wait. They are so cute when they start growing, when they start getting bigger and stuff. They're the most spunky little puppies you'll ever like think of. So yes. So need be. Packages didn't go out, shipping didn't go out. I didn't get into the bargain bead box, so but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, the necklace that I was planning. And then I will finish up the other designs on video based on how much time we've had. I did go through and start seeding up one of the strands because it's seed beads and that's no fun, just like sitting there watching some seed bead. But we have good company. Everybody must be busy with the holidays and have guests. We're a little light on people today, but that's perfectly okay. It's also not my normal time. So I am going to, and to be frank, I'm gonna have to go get another cup of coffee midway in because this is only my first cup. And I was trying to get ready as fast as possible. But especially because I want to go and see how Rosanna did that. So let's go ahead and turn down to the mat, see what it is. Kim, did you see the puppies? Oh, Kim's here. Look. Poor little baby girls. You weren't in here, so. Poor little Shih Tzus. So cute. Kim, in case you don't know, she runs dog boarding. And so, yeah, she's my other. I'm hoping they're going to be red like Mama. Because those are like purebred red is not typical. So we've had, but some of them do have other color markings. It looks like butterscotch, which she's had females before that are like dark chocolate brown with like butterscotch markings on the face and then a tuxedo. But she typically gets the tuxedo when we breed her with Cooper, which doesn't make sense because Cooper is white with blonde ears. But yes, you are indeed, my dear. They're so cute. I'll keep everybody up to date as they grow and all of that. So it'll be loads of fun. Okay, so I'm going to work with this pendant that I showed off yesterday, which everybody liked. Here was the other one. In case you weren't here yesterday, these actually came as an earring pair, like this, and I saw them as pendants right away. So I split them up. Some of you grabbed some yesterday, asked me to write them down so that you would get them, and then we're gonna go check off the check out the sales. So I will reach out to those people. All right, so the first thing that I was doing was that you guys, and it was going so well when I wasn't on camera. I was stringing like crazy, and look what happened. It's like when your kids make liars out of you. Our beads make liars out of us. I did find that if I like hooked into a bead and just pushed into the pile, the other beads would like push it onto the string, and every once in a while I'd get lucky and I'd get a freebie. So this would just be like a little stacker. It's these are Preciosa seed beads. They're taupe. Color number is 03612, just in case any of you would like to know. 03612. So, and they say they're 10 but they look just like 11 So I don't understand the difference. I pulled some 11 out to like compare, and I was like, these are the same thing. But I'm sure they're not if they have a different name. But So I'm going to have this as a stacker necklace, but it's going to be a short one. But it would be cute, and you could definitely wear it by itself. As you can see, it makes a very pretty bracelet too. Originally, I was going to use these little cream beads, but because there's like touches of cream in this, it looks more white on screen than it actually is. But I didn't like the way they look. I don't know, they're just one of those colors. I've had it in my bead stash for years now. I haven't used it much because I don't know, they're like a dirty beige is the best way that I can describe them. So I haven't, they just sit there. Okay. 5. So I'm just using 5 seed beads and then putting on these like peachy bicones that have AB on them. So it's just a little hint of sparkle that would be up top. And then I think I'm going to use, I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I haven't decided exactly. Do I want to use, oh my gosh. Oh, the shell pearls in this, or is this where I want to use my crystals? And I'm leaning more crystal, because these are very similar to those peach crystals. They're very similar in color. Let me see if I can find my remote control. As I was saying, I was with Mama from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She was finally done. She actually was not like progressing. She just seemed to be stuck. I can't find it, guys. I'm sorry. That's got to be annoying. It's normally right here in front of me, and I'm gonna see it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Now I don't know what I was saying. She wasn't transitioning, and I even called Steve and was like, we may need to take her to the vet if she doesn't start having babies. She's been in labor off and on for over 36 hours. And he was like, hon, last time she had a litter, you freaked out. We called the vet, and the vet said she could be in labor for 2 hours. Or 2 days. The only thing that we have to count is if she is straining for more than 30 minutes. So I just started massaging her back really well, and she had all 4 puppies within like 20-30 minutes. So I had to call Steve back in because she was like trying to clip off the umbilical cord of one as the other one came out, and she was getting stressed. So we just tied them off for her. But yeah, that way, because it can cause umbilical hernias if they get stressed like that and it isn't doing what it wants to. So I very rarely intervene. Very, very, very rarely. Again, Quinn is my female that wants me right there. So, but yes. Yes, we do. I'm so excited. Yeah. So I very rarely ever intervene. You need to leave them alone. If you don't, it can cause added stress. And I'm very close with my mamas. They get spoiled beyond whatever because, again, they're doing something. They're having puppies for us. So they definitely get spoiled. She got scrambled eggs from dad before he went to work this morning. Because we always do that. We give, but not too soon or they won't eat them. They were all the way gone. I saw the plate, so there was proof that she'd had them, but yes. We also, when they are starting to transition where they're panting and trembling at the same time, they'll often stop for like an hour's time, and that's what's known as transition. And so she got a small hamburger patty at that time because we tried to give them very simple protein that will help fuel them through labor. So we did that too. So they're very spoiled. And it's recommended when I have it, I will also use puppy formula and make them some milk right after their puppies are born. So it's cute, but yeah. But I do need help with names, guys. Like I said, 4 little girls. My immediate thing was either Little House on the Prairie Sisters or the Little Women Sisters. We had one time where we had like, I think 7 of them, and we named them all after Ariel and her sisters. So we've done state capitals. We've done various flowers. We have had 2 Christmas litters, one that came like this one right around Christmas, and another one that was where they were going home at Christmas time. So, and it'll never fail. I'll have like 3, maybe 4 puppies left. And then all of a sudden on Christmas Eve, I start getting all these phone calls, and they're like, well, hold on one second, because I think she's scratching at the door. Just a minute. You had to use the restroom. She's also the only one of my mamas that won't go on the puppy pad that we always have right there, because most of them don't like to leave their babies like at all for the first 2 days. But they're all different. Her sisters do 2 days after Christmas. So we'll have that litter as well. Were there any ideas? No, quite. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it too because it was a beautiful bracelet. Three, 4, on 5. I'm going to measure this. This should just about be long enough now. I'm gonna slide that down because I only want this to be like a 16-inch-ish bracelet or necklace. I don't want it to be like, okay, we are at 12 with the clasp, so I need maybe 2 more inches, which is only like Not much. Oh, I can hear the babies. They're so cute. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but it's adorable. Three, 4, you stay there. 5. I meant to be up earlier to do this. I apologize. But I woke up at 6 to take my morning meds, then dozed back off. And I didn't wake up until about 9 o'clock. So, and like I said, I was stringing beautiful until I was on live, because I literally had done everything that before in like less than 5 minutes. I had started and then I wanted to show the pictures, so I went to do that process and it ran short of time. So these are really good for like teens and tweens in your life. They're very simple, and so my nieces have a few of these that they like, and you guys may or may not have seen the garnet necklace that I'm doing for my niece for Christmas. She is a January baby, but it's very, very, very simple. So it's literally like this, and these cute little charms that are literally like probably a 2.5 millimeter like little ball, and then they have just a loop up top. So I was stringing those like every third. Like I would do 3 garnets and then put that on 3 garnets. But again, it's still very, very dainty and simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Each little pass is about 3/4 of an inch, so we shouldn't need too many more of these. But if I think it looks better to have it connected directly to the other necklace, then I will do that. Okay, now we should be closer to our goal. Well, straighten out, first of all. Yeah, we need like 1 more pass with the seed beads and then the crystal. And then 5 more seed beads and we're good. 3, 4, 5. 1 more crystal and then 5 more. And then we will print this off and put the bead tip on it. I know I'm quiet, guys. It was really a long night. Okay, so we are good. There is our little necklace. I'm going to get a bead tip out or a clamshell. They're called so many things. Lift it up, let gravity do its thing. Make sure it's not too tight. Grab my pliers. And I did just black crimp these. Hello, can you please come on? Good tug. Yep. I very rarely flat crimp. But it's not always the easiest to get inside of the bead tips to do any kind of proper crimp, because sometimes you'll go to like open up the clamshell and then it breaks as you're like closing it again, and then you're kind of SOL. Okay, so here are our other crystals. Let me pick up these, but well, I might use those. I doubt it, but I might. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to color block. The only thing is that, as many of you kind of pointed out before, there's not really an even number. There's not the same amount of peach as there is of the white or the cream. So it's just, so I'm going to go ahead and separate these out. Four. Sometimes I like to make that my challenge and just try to figure out a pattern that works with the beads that I have. I don't know that I have the mental bandwidth for that today. But if I'm going to do color blocking, Heather, what did you just do? You just, let me count these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we have 15 of the peach. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, I'm going to recount these just to make sure. I'll keep the peach there. So we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18. On today's episode of Can Heather Count? Ooh, that could be fun. Oh, yes, they do have girls, don't they? Okay, 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I only have 11 of these, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes. So, oh no, I only have 10 for both sides for the gray. I have one left over, it appears. So if we're going to color block, we're going to do so starting with the ivory, because obviously we have more. Then we can go down. So here's what I was kind of thinking. I can either just do threes, and then I can take some of my like little nuggets. Do I like that? Or am I going to pull in some peach moonstone that is all the same size and shape? I have a couple of peach moonstone cubes right here, but now I've got to try to figure out where I put those at. I have so much peach moonstone, so why am I blanking on where it is? Because I pulled it all out just for this specifically. Okay, we might just have to use the nuggets. And I will just have to be okay with the fact that they're not all the same. It's okay, Heather. Okay. So, see, some of them have like flat edges, and other ones do not. So, what I was thinking is that if we did the color block, we would not put any, we could just do like a simple flower bead cap here and here, then like a spacer bead, and these either with or without bead things. Oh, I may have just found the other gray. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so now we have 11. That doesn't do much for us, but it's not as a 3, but that's okay because we can use it for earrings afterwards. All right, let me find my stringing wire, which I made sure I had before we got started. Yes, right here. And yes, it's silver. I couldn't find my gold. So just gonna pull out a length. That should be good. You stay put, sir. Okay. Oh, goodness. There's like a divot right there. Man. And of course, I have 100-foot thing of wire, and I just cannot find it. Let me see if I have one. I don't understand what's creating those little divots in the wire. Okay, this one seems to be fine. Although I just probably pulled off way more than I need. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do another flat crimp on the end It'll be okay. Grab one of my bead tips. And slide it all the way down to the other side. Maybe the darker stones. Okay. Yeah, their eyes don't open for a while, so that's a thought though. That could be cute. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna start with the ivory because we have more of those. So I'm gonna grab one of my little, tried and true little flower bead cap. Okay, so we'll go there. We'll grab another one. I'm gonna pull some down here. Put the other bead cap on. Grab a spacer bead from right here. I just want these little 2.5 millimeter ones because that way they don't take up too much room before I put on my moonstone. Okay. Like that. Rosanna, are peach moonstone and peach sunstone, like, are they found together? Because I've had like little kits like this before, and I've always wondered, like, do they do that because they're oftentimes like found in nature together or what? Okay, where's my other stacker that has the flower bead caps I prefer to use? Are they over here? Not the ones I really wanted to use, but I am seeing these gray sparkles for those little, taking my 2.5 millimeter ball off because I found these are those. I don't even know how to describe them. They're not cubes, but they're not rounds, but I don't know. They're like little hexagon baby sparkles. And because of the way they are cut, they're just so cute. Just in case you guys ever get like a curly wire like this and it's not staying, like, even once it's done, it's not draping well. What I do is I clasp it up and then I put it on like a hook or something, and I put like a light weight down on it in order for it to stretch that out so that it looks nicer and it isn't like all messed up. So just a little tip of mine, because it happens to all of us. Okay, I have several different little filigree, but I'm not sure which ones will fit right because of the way these are all cut. I'm not sure why they did like a flat cut on one side and not the other. I wonder what they were using on the other side. Okay. Because, see, I'm not sure that you'll even be able. I don't know. Let me see. We will see what we think of trying to bead cap these. It may not happen just because of the type of bead they are or the shape of bead they are. I don't like when bead caps are bigger than the bead itself. So, like, you have an 8mm bead and you want to put on a 10mm bead cap, I don't like the way that looks. So, nope. Okay, well, the Sunstone and Peach Moonstone, whichever one I happen to grab, will not have bead caps on it. So we'll just let them sparkle in their glory. See, and then these ones are flat on both sides, and I'm like, those would be really cool for bracelets. So do I just want to pull out the ones that are flat on both sides? So that I have a more uniform shape. That one is flat on both sides. This one is as well. Some of them are thicker than others. That one is only on one side. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to go for it. And just put them on when they go on. Otherwise, I will be sitting here for forever trying to figure this out. Okay, then, since the next highest total of how many the beads are was the peach. So we're going to do 3 of these like peachy amber kind of colors. But and then another bead cap. And then the little spacer. I'm sure it will be beautiful when it comes out. When all is said and done. But yeah. Yes, they are both feldspar. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Now I'm going to go down a rabbit hole of what feldspar is and all of the gemstones because I like to be as educated as I can be. And I tend to just kind of go through it. So, since we have so few gray, do I maybe only do 2 of the gray or does that completely mess it up? You know what? The little flowers would look cute on the sides of these. The same flower bead caps. So I'm going to grab some of those. The only thing is, I know I just saw them. Let me see here. Is it these? Yes. Okay. So these bead caps are the 18 karat gold plated ones. So they're more of like a rosier toned one. So I'm going to pick those up because this spacer is more, I believe these were either 14 or 24 karat gold plated ones. So they are a little bit more yellow. And I happen to have these little flower bead caps, both with the rosier tone and like I think these are on stainless steel and those are on copper. So it's a slight difference, but I like my metals to match whenever possible. So I'm going to do this again, just so that there's more continuity within the piece. Yes. Three, we'll do another daisy little bead cap. We will go to this. Or I can grab out some daisy spacers to go on either side so it's not just flower bead cap, flower bead cap. I have those right here. Just to give the piece a little bit more texture. And and again, I have these in both the more yellow, the rosier tone, because you never know what you're going to get sometimes. Yes, I like the daisy spacer better than a bead cap. You could do both, but I like it that way. Okay, now we're going to put the little bead cap. And we're going to go to the peach. What do you guys think about doing the 2 instead of the 3 so that we can use the gray? Like we can stretch our gray a little bit. This is just a simple stringing project today, guys. I hope you're okay with that. Oh, Shiloh's dreaming that she's playing Super Mario Brothers in the water world. No, you need to put a bead cap first. Yes. When she dreams like this, she does like that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I have a gamer for a son, so I've heard that sound effect plenty. Okay, so I'm gonna see what it would look like with just 2 of the gray on and see if it looked good or bad. I know I just want to stretch them. I don't think that looks bad. Huh. And it's a little bit of a break in the pattern. Like I said, I sometimes take these bead mixes as a challenge on like, how can I pattern these to where it looks completely intentional? Everybody ready for the next 2 days? Are you just able to like chill and enjoy yourself? Are you still having to drive to go see family and friends? Are you not done shopping? Yeah, I like that. That'll be good. Everybody else is probably working on projects. I know that's why chat was quieter than normal yesterday, too. Everybody's like, I'm still making stuff. I've got to do this and then record the rest of the part 2 where I'll show this and then I'll link it in the video so people can come back and find it in case they are not with us right now, but like the pattern. Yeah, I don't mind that the gray only has 2. I think it's pretty actually. Oh, I gotta put my leg up. Oh, that's right, Beth. You can't be working on stuff right now. Did your sister-in-law and her daughter like to bead with you when they're there? Oh, you're having 13 people over for dinner. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I thought you just had the Bill's sister and her family. what are Bill and you? What's on the menu? Like I said yesterday, Steve and I don't really have plans, so our plan is to get this bead room start to finish complete. Had to clean up before the 4th. I don't know what the 4th is. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting something when I don't get enough sleep. My memory gets worse, not better. Do you guys have anything interesting in your holiday dinner that's maybe not I know some people do turkey for Thanksgiving and ham for Christmas. Next year can't be with Kim. Or essentially with no one else. Aw. You two with me and Rosanna. Yeah. I really do want to, we would probably have to plan it a year out just so those of us that are on more of a budget have time to save for it. Some of these suckers are really thick. And I knew I put a couple all in the same jar, but those are really thick. So I'm going to save those out. Okay, so there was 18 of these, I believe. Did I put the beef cap on? No, I didn't. You cook everything? Woohoo! Rosanna found her clamshells. Well, changing turkey to ham at the last minute, which is easier for you. Yes, it is. Sorry, my plow guy just showed up. And I have to pay him 5 inches of snow here. Wow. Christmas is saved. It is indeed. I'm going to attempt a prime rib roast with my bestie. Wish me luck. Good luck. I would just say that the sear on all sides is the most important when doing prime rib. And if you happen to have a digital thermometer that you can put in it so that will send you stuff on your phone, it is a blessing. They're just these little digital read thermometers. Traeger has them for their smoker grill combo thing. They come with those. Well, the new ones do anyways. But we don't have a Traeger. We have a Z grill, which is like a generic brand, and it's great. I bought it for Steve purposely because he would have killed me if I bought a Traeger for him. He didn't even know that the Z grill was coming. But when I was researching the different grills, and I saw over and over and over and over in the reviews of the Z grills that they bought them as a backup to their Traeger for when they have really big family gatherings and one grill is not enough. And then they found that they liked the Z-Grill better than the Traeger. So that's why I got that one for him. I don't know about you guys, but my hubby is a pill when I try to get him stuff. So I just have to order it, not tell him, and order it and say surprise. I may end up keeping one of these little girls because we are probably going with a new male here very shortly. So it might be, I might end up keeping one of those little girls. We'll see. We had talked if she had a boy that we were going to keep one, we were going to keep her boy, but you put the recap on first. So if I have 10 of those, I can only do 5. Oh, my husband just cut. Steak Fazzolas, grilled steak. Yeah, I love that. Correct, Kim. If it's cut correctly, yes. Let's see here. Turkey for Thanksgiving, pot roast for Christmas Eve, ham for Christmas, then white beans and ham for the day after. Yep. Turkey, ham, pork, and seafood. Yum. That's a techie thing, right? Yes, it is a techie thing, but it is a very nice techie thing because it will literally send you text messages that say, you have reached this temperature. Or you can set it to like, I want to get it at this temperature because, like, depending upon if you want medium rare or medium or whatever else. Oops, sorry. Medium well, like you can do any of those. Originally, I was going to have, I think I want to do the gray right where that is. And I'm getting to where this might be long enough, and it won't matter that I didn't have all even number of beads. Let me see how long this is so far. I did create the stacker for it, so we're at 8.5. So no, let's do one complete repeat, and then we can add our pretty center, our pendant. That's what it is, Heather, pendant. Okay, this is driving me crazy. I don't know why I haven't cut it off before now. It had like a weird little kink in it. Okay, so one of these little stones. Oh, I forgot to put my daisy spacer on. It's okay, because I wasn't really fond of that nugget, as they are called. I'll do one of the more gray peach. I have a strand of moonstone that is like all different. I also have chip beads that I have that are all the white, peach, and gray moonstone. So Okay. 3 white. Yeah, I think we'll be good. And we may even have enough to do a bracelet using a similar pattern. But the best part. That's an amazing deal. Yay, I'm glad you're here, Dominique. If you weren't here earlier, invoices and shipping did not go out because I was with the baby yesterday. Dominique, just in case you weren't on earlier, the 4 little Shih Tzu girls. Winnie Pooh had them yesterday. Was afraid some of them were going to come today, but no, we got it. Okay. I'm more and more off camera. Sorry. Because I have all of my things laid out so that okay. Okay. Sorry, I lost for a moment where I was in the pattern. Damn dirt comes. How could I not remember this pattern? And yes, I could have just looked at the rest of the necklace, which is what I did, but my brain didn't want to compute. It was like, try again later. Okay, we're gonna do the 2 gray, which is where I want to have the gray on either side of our little pendant. You could also, I don't know, should I just do it, guys? Because you need to know what I mean by that. Okay. If we wanted to be more sticklers and trying to stay just to the box, or because you don't have a pendant that would go well, we do have the Peach Moonstone teardrop. Should we go to that instead of the little fairy necklace so that we're sticking to the box? What do you think? If I would have been thinking, I could have had this on the bottom and this from the center of our stacker that we made to go with this. Yeah. The other plan that was originally was that I was going to use this, but then I'm going to use this for the center of a bracelet instead, because Rosanna made a bracelet with a similar shape, well, with the same shape as this with some beads I sent her. It's a stretch one. She always wears it on her wrist. Ooh, yeah, my screen is dancing. I hate that. It gives me a headache, so I don't like when it's doing that. Where is my remote? Mm, I'm so sorry it's doing that, guys, and that I don't have my remote right here so I can stop it. Okay. Beth, Rosanna, no input on if I should stick to the teardrop or go with the dandelion or fairy. I kind of like the dandelion with this for the bracelet. I think it's really pretty. Had I had two fossil corals like this, I may have just used them for a secondary focal, but okay, Dominique is the only one who's pitched into it, but she didn't really say which one she thought. She said they were both pretty. Hmm. Let's see now. I'm going to need a jump ring regardless for the center. I could tie off here and do some do like a wire wrap of some kind with this and this that has like a little lobster clasp attached to it, so you could swap it out. Um, let's see. Let me wire wrap this up because that may help me decide. I'm able to do like a nice wire wrap of the peach moonstone using some 20 gauge gold wire. I love when pendants are drilled this way because I like to do it. Just depends on if you want to stick with the box. I cannot decide either. I'm doing a heather. Yep. They're all pretty. It just depends. Okay. Well, then we're going to go ahead. Like I said, I'm going to wire this bad boy up and then we'll go from there. Okay. So I'm just going to, I took about a 6-inch piece of wire. I'm going to keep between a fourth and a third of it at the front. And I'm going to crisscross these like so. You don't want to get too close. I like to leave just a little bit of space right there. And then you're going to take your pliers and you are going to bend this one back and this one straight up. I like to do a full curve around with the shorter one and hold on using my crimper. Okay, up, up. Yep. Cut off the excess wire on the side. You guys know I like to do it on the side, not the quote unquote front or back. Okay. I hope I gave myself enough wire. If not, this is going to be a very simple wire wrap simply because I don't have much wire. do my little hybrid loop that I like. You need to hold still. Grab my pliers and wrap. And we're going to go down. Like I said, this may be a very simple one, or I'm going to have to start over, one or the other. It's going to be I have to start over because I don't like that wrap. I'm very picky with wire wraps, you guys. I don't know why I do it to myself, but I'm just very picky about the way this. Until Steve was over here because my garbage can is not on the right side underneath my desk, where I'm used to throwing my wire. I can't complain too much because it's likely because he was emptying my garbage can. Ouch. Okay. Okay, this time I'm going to grab about 10 to 12 inches of wire so that I have plenty to do a little wrap. I was like, oh, it's small. It's okay. I won't need much. Can you place your what on the right side so we can see what is going on? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing, Dominique, but I didn't leave myself enough wire. So I'm sorry that the screen is dancing, you guys. I just don't understand where my remote should be because it should be right here. It doesn't need to go anyplace else to do anything, and it's distracting me because I got a migraine from that happening when I was watching another creator's video. It was Becky, actually. And I told her, oh man, I couldn't finish watching it because of this. But she said because of the way that I told her, it was good. We started talking and became friends. Where would I have put it? It should be right here. It's probably in my way. So I picked it up and moved it out of my way. And now I have no idea where that was. Okay, I'm just going to try to get it done as quickly as possible and hope that that doesn't cause any of you to have a headache. Okay, we're back at this where I'm going to bend this one back, bend this one straight up. Going to use my Xeron crimpers because they have a little bitty tips to hold that in place as I wrap this one around like so, but it's not, it went up. Going to cut this on the side. And then we're going to bend this one back. And I bend it right at where it's wrapped. That way I don't run out of wire. and I can get down into the wraps sooner because I'm not worried about. Okay, right there. So right now it kind of looks like a little figure 8. I'm going to have to find that remote before I do my videos. And okay, now I'm going to grab onto the loop and I'm going to start wrapping. And unlike the last time, I went right over the other loop. And now I'm just using my fingers rather than pliers. That way I can kind of use the warmth of my fingers to wrap it. And I can wrap exactly where I want to as I'm coming down over the top of the wires. And when I get below, and you can't see, you cannot see where I'm going to go around one more time, and then I will create myself a little spiral. So I want this centered. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bend it right there and bend it facing down so that I know where I'm starting. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my Beadsmith micro round nose pliers. I'm going to cut this in flush. Okay. I'm going to put it on the very tip and I'm going to rotate it. I have a tiny bit of a straight piece from where the wrap began that I'm going to go in and trim off. I'm going to go around right there. And I'm going to keep it on my pliers just for the first little bit of this until it no longer lets me use that to wrap with. And then you can use any kind of pliers that you might have, but I'm going to move some of this out of the way so the camera isn't trying to focus on so many things. Okay, here we go. So I have the beginning of my spiral. Now I'm just going to, I like to make the spiral, I might have too much wire here. That's going to be a mighty big spiral. Okay, we're going to cut it off right here and start again. I might save this as a little charm. I can just pop it up like that, do a little loop, and have a little charm for the end of an extender chain. Just an idea in case you ever run across doing that, where you've made your this one is good, but I might try to tuck it in just a little bit using my Xeron pliers. I don't always like when the hole in the center of a swirl is as big as that. Now I'm just going to grab my flat nose. I'm going to push the wire. That's what I was trying to say. Instead of using the pliers and my wrist to go like this, I'm the one pushing the wire up and around the spiral again, keeping it in my fingers so as to keep the wire nice and warm, pliable. You don't have to do a tight spiral like this. You can leave it a little bit looser, which is easier to do when you are, again, using your finger. This is also going to be a big spiral, but it's okay. It would have been ginormous had I not stopped. It would have taken up the entire little focal here. Oops, don't do that. I don't want you to have a point there. Come on. I got a little bit of a kink in my wire. There we go. Fixed it. And now we just need to decide how we're going to do this. Again, you know what? Yes, the last wrap just went along behind the spiral, but I actually like that it did that because it made it so that I could wrap up to here easier. Yeah, I really like the way that looks. Okay, there's my pendant. I've never done that before, but I like the way it looks. I hope you guys can see. All I did was right when I got to the very bottom here, which happened to line up perfectly with where the loop started, I just did the rest of that in more of a straight line, and it went up behind the spiral. And I quite like the way that looks. As I said, I've never done that before. You could place your photo on the right side so we can, oh, I can just take it off. I'm sorry. There we go. I apologize. I hope you were able to see how I did this, though. I tried to stay on camera. If not, I have other spirals here that I can do it. I really do like the way that looks because also I have found that when I do my spirals, it's always very hard to get the spiral up against the pendant. You almost have to like overbend it, and then this part looks awkward. But that took up all of the space underneath, so I don't have to worry about it pressing down. So I like that. Okay, back to the pattern. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the spacers. Oh, you need the other flowers petal. Did anybody want me to show that again? I apologize. I wasn't paying attention. I thought that I was on camera. I thought you were asking me to take my foot down so I was more centered. Yes, I like that. Okay. This will also help keep the wire up off of the it'll keep my loop up off the stringing wire. Okay. Like so. A little Jesus face. This little twist right here in this wire is driving me just about batty. Not that I'm not already batty, but I just realized that I didn't do a moonstone there. But it's okay. I kind of like that there's not a moonstone there. Yes, I like that. Okay. So then, no, I need one right here. I don't need one after the gray. So I did miss it right here. So let me find one. I'm going to try to find a couple of smaller ones for right here in the center. Move that over. This one and this one are on the smaller side. Decisions. It seems like such a small thing, but it's where the eye is going to be drawn. So I want the nuggets right there to be very pretty. So I have two moonstones where one is there we go. Found them. We will put these on. Oh, we need to put daisy spacer first. Again, it seems like a silly little thing, but those are the details that I try to think of when I create. Is like, okay, obviously I had my pattern down, but just because you've figured out your pattern doesn't mean that you can't be intentional with which beads you use where. Now, I want it to be fairly organic, so I'm not I wasn't like matching them up all the way down the necklace and whatnot. I didn't sit there and pick them out into pairs. But because, again, this is where the eye is going to be drawn down to the pendant, I want the two beads right there to be really nice ones. And hope that it's always going to lay like that because that's why I picked it. Oh my goodness. Probably not. But, you know, a girl can dream and fool herself, right? All right. If that little bit of commentary made sense to anyone else. Yeah, there's never, yes, I don't like to waste wire. Even if I can get at least two jump rings out of a piece of wire, like a scrap piece, I do so. Because then I have jump rings that match my wire. The other Domi because I taught myself how to do that, and it's going to serve me well because now that I'm going to copper and oops, no, Heather, you need a spacer there first. Using the bronze wire, I very much so need to learn to make my own components because there aren't any out there. And I'll tell you, one of my most frustrating things about making jewelry is the fact that copper wire itself, copper head pins, copper jump rings, copper, all of that are so expensive, which is ridiculous because 90% of jump rings and all of the head pins, ball head pins, all of that are copper wire that has something plated over the top of it. So why, like, I'm saving you a step. I just want it as copper, but they are more expensive. So, and bronze, don't even, yeah, the bronze, it's hard to find finding. So I've learned to do it myself. Sorry. So it has served me well leading up to this point because now I know how to do that. And I'm able to make my own things. And it started because I didn't like that my metals didn't match. So I would just make my own. I can help you with that. There's two things you can do. I'll show that as soon as I'm done stringing this. Remind me and we'll do that. I have a couple of things that will help with that quite a bit. And they are things that I have learned. Why did I do that? I already had gray. I needed to go to peach. 1, 2. Also, this mix is mostly sunstone. There's not a lot of moonstone in it. So being able to use those at the front are good. Mary, I will show you jump rings in just a second. And I will likely be doing little shorts called Heather's How To's coming in the new year. We have lots of ideas, and we have some of which will give me more time to do the Heather's How To's and whatnot. Yes, like that. Just because the daily lives, the shipping for sales, all of that doesn't leave me with very much time to make recorded videos. And then people can't find where I did certain things that so that they can pull it up to reference when they go to try a technique again after the fact. So that's a big one. And one of the first ones I want to do is how to make my like version of a ball head pin, how to make an eye pin, how to make all that. So peach white. And then back to gray, right? Yes. Okay, I was like, wait a second. Again, my brain was like, is that the pattern you want? Yes, it is. So please behave accordingly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Mary. I'm so glad that you found us. The other day we were talking about how they got rid of the group chats and we couldn't figure out why. I want to tell you that you can put up a post in Beading Besties and say, who all here is from California? And then you guys can friend request each other and start a group chat in Messenger directly, since we can no longer have them within Beading Besties the way that was intended by me. I just want you guys to know that you can still enjoy that. It's just a little bit of extra steps is all. They're just not having the ability to do it on within the group chat itself. That is a really not well shaped bead. So I'm glad I have extra, because that did not look good. It was drilled all funky. No, I need peach. I am happy that I will have, yeah, enough beads to make a necklace or a bracelet, and possibly even the earrings to go with this. I will just do them in the part 2 video and obviously reference back to this with the date and time in case anybody wants to come back and watch it like they see the recorded video and they're like, I don't like that one. I'd like to go watch that. I picked this of all of the designs that I have percolating in my head for this specifically because it is a stringing project. And I'm not going to say just a stringing project, because when you do the simpler techniques such as stringing, you have to be more intentional with your design pattern, all of that, so that it's just as beautiful. Even though maybe you don't have all the wire wrapping and whatever else. So 2, 3, but I love a good stringing project. It is very relaxing to me to be able to just do my thing, however it is I want that day. There we go. I believe I just have 2 repeats left of this. And then we shall be done with this. I can show the jump rings really quickly. And for example, on a stringing project, I do have the slight variation as within the crystals, because the peach and the white have the gray, or have 3 and the gray has 2. But even though I did that, it still looks, at least to me, like it is an intentional part of the piece. If it would have just looked if it looked completely off, like it didn't go with whatever else, then I would have not I would have found another way to do that. But I like it because it just creates a little bit of visual interest. Now, there are going to be people that are pattern people, as am I, that may not like that and would want the gray to be 3 each time. But I don't have enough to do so. Speaking of, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. After gray comes peach. Why could I not see? I hope I'm not running out of peaches. I'm going to be so upset if I am. I have more coming. So if I had to set this aside, I can. I just won't be altogether happy about it. Oh, here's some more. Okay. I was stressing. I was like, oh no. I could have also used the pearl dusted agate in this had I not wanted to use the more organic beads. If you're like, nope, I don't like that, I need something more, I would suggest going and pulling those out, which of course mine are not right here. But you could have used those as well. I'm sure they're right here, and I'm just, my eyes are not finding it. Also, when I noticed that this finding was more of a yellow gold, like a 14 karat gold, I also went and swapped out oh my gosh, what was I trying to say? Oh, I swapped out the findings so that everything matched, so that it didn't look, doing that made it look like the gray was more of an intentional, because everything else, it coordinates so well that it does look intentional. One more repeat. These are the last 2 gray, and then I need one more pass of the peach and ivory. Then we will be done with this part of it. This is where I shop my mat rather than just dumping a bunch more out. Less cleanup for me later on if I do it this way, which is good because I'm really trying to stop. I have a very bad habit of just pushing whatever's on my mat up instead of putting it away. And so that is something I'm hoping to change. So I'm trying to make it a habit. If you do something for 7 days, it becomes a habit. And it only takes 7 days to retrain yourself to do it the correct way or the other way. 7 days. And we're to our last section of crystals. Okay, I'm going to pick this up, let gravity do its thing. This is a longer necklace, but I might have, wait a second. What did I do? Uh-oh. I didn't do something right. This one is longer and it's not matching up. What did I do? Oh no. I didn't do this right. Now I have to see if I have enough string that I can cut it on this side and fix it rather than going all the way back up and around. I'm not sure that I do. Oh, I'm gonna cry. This is wrong. Or is it? I'm trying to see. Ivory, peach gray, ivory, peach gray, ivory. Oh no, it's right here. I went to the gray too soon. Yeah, that's what I did. I don't want you guys to sit here and restring it with me. I will finish it and fix it off screen. That's probably why my brain was going, this does not work. Okay, let me show you how to do your own jump rings. I want to see if I have those right here. Do you have mandrels like this, or do you only have mandrels like this, Mary? I have a set of these that are different. And when I'm making a bunch of jump rings, I prefer having a longer barrel for when I use them. But if you only have these, that's perfectly fine. If you're trying to do it simply with round nose pliers, that's probably the one left with different sizes. Okay, there. All right, that's all I needed to know. Goes over there. Okay. Grab some 20 gauge wire. Now, I don't recommend cutting off your piece. It's easier to work off the spool, especially if you're making a lot. That way, you're not wasting wire. I like to just wind it through my hand to warm it up. I'm going to go ahead and use the second step. Get it right at the edge, and I'm going to go around. Now, you need to make sure that you're going on the inside so that you have it can come up off the barrel when you get to a certain point. Now, there are two ways you can wind yours. You can either do it so that there's not where they're stacked right on top of each other, or you can do it to where you space them out as you wind them. Either one is completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and wind some close just so that I can show you a tip that I learned from Samantha Latimer that helped me quite a bit. And I'm just going to wind them together like that. Going to go ahead and cut this off, leaving the flush end to the end of this rather than the end of my wire off the spool. Then I'm going to cut a piece. And once you've done this once, if you are making your own jump rings all the time, then you would want to keep this in like where you have your little tools. But all you're going to do is take it and you're going to bend a right angle into it like that. Then you're going to pop a little opening between the first and second link. I already have a space there, but because of the way I started out, maybe not. Just open it up so you can get the little short arm in between. And then you're just going to go round and round. And this wire will naturally spread out your rings so that they are easier to cut. And once you get to the end, you're done. So if you happen to have double flush cutters, and mine, I cut something I shouldn't have, so they're not very sharp, you can simply go in and clip these. See, mine aren't sharp. Like that, and they will pop off, or they should. They did not, so we're just going to take that off. Okay, otherwise, so if this end is flush now, you're going to take your cutters and face them the other way, and you're going to get right on where where the jump ring started. You're going to have to flip your pliers over and cut this flush again, and then you're just going to turn around and clip them again. And once you get into the pattern of it, you'll start to be able to like know exactly where you need to cut in order for them to match up. Otherwise, you end up with more of a U shape plier when you go and try to put the ends together. Because when you cut them, you have this concavity inside of the pliers. You can also turn your pliers upside down and cut so you know exactly where it is that one coil of the wire is ending and the other one is beginning, but not cutting our flush end. So that could be helpful to you because you'll be able to see exactly where you need to cut. Just like that. It's just a matter of doing that. So, well, there's only two left. Heather just finished cutting the jump rings. And I got lucky and had almost no waste with those jump rings. So then you get to this point, and unless I'm using them immediately, I like to go and close up my jump rings. That way, if I'm using a project where, oh, I forgot these. I have to get new ones of those. I lost one of these is gone. Okay, then you're just going to take your bent chain nose pliers and just close them, and they're completely flush one to the other. Is there any part of that you would like me to redo, Mary? Oh, the little 90-degree angle? I know. As soon as I saw her do that, I was like, well, that's what you've been doing wrong. Again, I'm sorry that my screen is jumping. But I would, as I said, try starting with having your pliers upside down so that you can see exactly where you need to cut. I don't know if that was the trick you were referring to when you said that's a handy little trick, or if you meant the way that Samantha Latimer spaces her coils, making it easier to go in. Okay, this is one where there was too much space, so you end up with a little bit, not a completely round shape. I don't think that this is very noticeable, so I'm still going to put this into my jump ring container for when I'm using the gold craft wire, but to each its own. It's completely up to you the way that you like to do it. If you want it perfectly round, then you can do it. But I like to have these closed, especially when I want to go and do a goddess bracelet, because having them already closed comes in quite handy when you're doing those. So that's how I cut my own jump rings. But that one's already closed. Was there any part of it that you need me to go over? Well, you'll know that it's on this video now, so you can just skip to the very end to watch it. But I really do think that having the pliers upside down really helps because you're able to see exactly where you need to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and come up, take my jumpy mat. I bet they're on the floor somewhere. That's the only thing that makes sense, and the other place I didn't check. So I have to ring string my project because I made a mistake. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed getting to see the puppies. I will see all of you guys tomorrow morning. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to come on Christmas Day or not. Again, like Rosanna said, we may just pop on just to say Merry Christmas to everybody or whatnot. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have last minute Christmas shopping you need to get done, please be safe. I will see you all next time. As always, happy beading.